This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hello, there's nobody in here right now, but I really debated on whether or not to do this, and I have some things to say. Sorry, I had children come in. So let me start by showing that. Okay, so this is in regards to a RICO case and a lawsuit that has just been filed. It has to do with the true crime community, but more so the drama sector. I am unbiased in this, and I'm going to share my channel because I've called both of the people I want to talk about out before. And I'm going to show you two videos that I've done on the situation. Kind of the situation, but where I called them out and I talked about things that I did not agree that they were doing in this particular case. So we're going to watch both of those videos I did a while back on both of them. And while we're watching those, I'm going to get my stuff together and then we will talk about my thoughts and opinions on everything. I just need to find them real quick. Okay, so here's one. I know this one is, let me see. I can't remember where it's at. Hold on just a second. Let me go ahead and share this so that you can see it, what I'm looking at. Hello, country girl Sammy. Thank you for being here. Hold on just a minute, because I've talked about both of these, but it was a while back. Hold on just a minute. Okay, here's one. So this is the one where I was talking about
election season is here. Remember,
allegedly with Brittney J. The two people we're going to be talking about is Granny's Watching and allegedly with Brittney J. I know the Granny's Watching one is a video. This one I'm going to try to skip through and get you to the part to where I'm talking about her. This part is just to kind of show that I am not biased against either one. If I think both of them are doing something wrong, I will call them out. So let me try to find it. I do want to say that this is fair use. And when I saw this, I couldn't. Okay. This is allegedly with Brittney J. I will work on getting her into the description box below. I literally just walked in the door. It's crazy. I was trying to go live right now because I got somebody that wants to be here that has some things to do. So I'm going to play this right now. This is fair use. This is from a live I did probably about a month or two ago. And I was talking about this stream right here where she's going to talk about Chris and Katie being in court with Bullhorn Betty. I'm going to play this for a minute while I get some stuff together. This again is to show you that I'm unbiased. And I'm going to say this is my channel. I'm sharing my raw and unfiltered opinion. I'm going to call it out across the board. You're talking shit about Seth. You talking shit about Chris and Katie. I'm going to call you out. I'm sorry. I could really like you and I do like her. I don't have a problem with her. I just have a problem with how this conversation in particular went. You can't, but it's not helping Sebastian for us to sit here and talk shit about his parents. We need to be talking about places that haven't been hit with flyers. There's issues going on with the blip boards right now, and I might get into that because I saw a video on my homepage that had to do with that. I haven't debated on whether I'm going to talk about that or not, because at the end of the day, blip boards are getting put up, which is helping to find. And he's getting ready to go to court, and I just explained the whole issue. You to be she was stalking them and saying that she was going to buy a pew-pew and a machete and come and see them. Okay. And at the same time, you have got the father of your wife's child on their side going against you, talking shit in the news about you. So there's a lot of hostility there. And you're about to have to go to court and see this man that you helped get a job, that you have dealt with for the whole time you've been married to your wife, be on the other side against you in a court of law, ready to testify against you in a court of law. That's what this man is thinking right now. And so he made this post on his Facebook. If you take all that into consideration and how you would feel knowing that that was about to happen, I could understand why he posted this.
Okay. And
There's something that will surprise you.
One said,
When you
shit. Okay. If you know, you know. So he's saying to people, if you're in the know and you know what I'm talking about, then you get this. So to me, somebody's doing something privately behind the scenes.
I don't think that's it at all. I think that he's about to go in court for a protective order, and Sebastian's father is on the side of the person he's getting a protective order against, ready to testify against him and his wife, the mother of the child. He's trying to protect his wife, the mother of the child, and the father of the child is on the side of the people that they're getting the protective order against. I think that's more along the lines of why he posted this. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because this is not really why I'm here. I want to show where I have called her out and I have called Granny's Watching out. Okay. I've called both of them out when I thought they were wrong. I'm going to skip through this a little bit because the point is not to go over my previous live stream. The point is to talk about what's going on right now. Oh, sorry. It's not playing. Hold on.
Your court hearing was for that.
You know the TBI and FBI have taken that.
Right?
First
If they,
a stupid move.
I don't think
Very
the TBI and
stupid.
FBI are taking a dang.
how wild is that?
Again, if you have not and you like allegedly Brittney J, please give her a like and a follow. I will leave her link in the description box below. I don't know if I can post it in the box. I will attempt to do that.
Right?
Post.
So then that got me thinking because I remember Nick saying that.
Okay, this is the other part I want to get to.
He called Chris Joker, remember?
Yep.
Right. And then she's going to sit here and say that she admits that for the last couple of months
Okay, now I listened to her on 2X because I'm able to listen to her on 2X and still understand every word she had to say. I'm going to put it on 1.5 so that we can kind of get through this and then get to the worst of the worst.
they have, oh my goodness, just listen to it. Made it like a firing squad on set. Look.
Them, but you have the right to pass judgment all because she was the last person home with him. Like, bitch, this is not a baby. This is not an.
The person talking is Cluminati. I will leave her in the description box as well. No,
this is not.
I don't like Cluminati. I think she needs. Okay, hold on. Lord of mercy, or something. Anyway, that girl, her baby goes missing, and she's out at the club getting tattoos. All of that. If I saw that, I'd be kind of Casey Anthony. If I didn't see them looking stressed out, I'd be more concerned than I would seeing them stressed out. Lord have mercy. This is not a plan. Hold on. He's always had long hair in the back. He can't wear his hat in the courtroom. I don't think, even though it is popular right now, I don't necessarily think he was intending to have a mullet. He's got a receding hairline, something that all men will have to deal with at some point. Why are we picking on him? That's my point of.
I do have to ask, let's not even being petty, but what is going on, you guys? How does one person change so drastically in a matter of a few months?
Well, he has a missing child. I mean, do we not think the stress from having a missing child could do that? I'm sorry. If one of my kids goes missing, I'm going to age probably about 10 years overnight because you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're crying constantly. And I'm talking about one of my children or my stepchildren, any of them. Because We all know what happens to children when they go missing. And even as the parent of a missing child, as much as you don't want to think that's happening to your baby, it's going to cross your mind from time to time. Nobody can find your child, your baby, your loved one, whatever, however you want to say it. If you didn't look like you were stressed out and aged, I would then be concerned and wonder if you had done something. You see these parents out here, what's her name, down there in Florida, as an example, with the well-known girl with the missing baby, Kaylee or something. Anyway, that girl, her baby goes missing and she's out at the club getting tattoos, all of that. If I saw that, I'd be kind of fucking concerned. If I didn't see them looking stressed out, I'd be more concerned than I would seeing them stressed out. If they were out here partying it up and all that, that would tell me they probably had something to do with it. Not the fact that they're stressed out and looking like they aged 10 years. That's what I would expect from the parent of a missing child.
Because certain people have inserted themselves in to cause all unnecessary drama, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Why does somebody change? I think that he is going through. Oh, some people saying guilt. Some people say I don't know. I can't say what it is.
It looks stressed out to me.
He totally looks stressed.
I would
Hold on a
hope
second.
he was
In my
stressed
opinion,
out with a
He
missing
totally looks
child.
stressed out. Beyond stressed out.
And he's
Worried.
in court. And he's in court for a protective order. And his child's missing. Of course he's going to look stressed out. I'd be concerned if he didn't.
Look at this, for example. This really puts it in perspective.
And at that time right there, KP wasn't sitting next to him at that time.
No. Look at that.
He's got his beard on and he's got his hat on. If you put the beard back on and put the hat back on, I think he'd look about the same. It looks like maybe he gained a little weight, but a lot of people stress eat. And again, he's got a missing child. The father of that child has band up with somebody who's talking about getting a machete and pew pew, and you're having to get a protective order against. And the father of that missing child, who your wife was married to, had a child with, and you helped get a job supposedly on the police department, is on the other person's side. I had to get the links. Hold on. Let's think about that and put ourselves in those shoes of that and feel all of the feels that come with that. And then let's talk about how we look after that. I'm just saying, we got to be fair across the board. That talking shit is not something I would want Sebastian to see. And it's not helping to find Sebastian in any way, shape, or form. Talking about how these people look is not doing a damn thing to find Sebastian.
That's not even the same person. When I saw it this morning, I battled within myself. I said, that's not him. Wasn't there other people that were saying that wasn't him as well?
A lot. I
Look
said
at
the
that.
only thing I recognized was his eyes, and that's how I knew.
It even looks like his nose has grown.
And then Justin's
Hi,
reaction.
Holly. I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
whole
see
time.
you. Welcome.
Laughing.
Thank you for being
Justin
here.
was just like, oh, he's going off.
He does have a
Lord.
bunch of different looks.
Yeah, they look like completely two different people, huh?
Lord have mercy.
It's been 7 months. since
Shaving
his
does make
child-
a big difference, no doubt.
Yes,
But
it does.
guys, it goes so much more beyond shaving, don't
Look,
you know?
courtrooms in the South.
So much. So I said show.
I mean, I don't know.
Mm.
He's got his stepson has been missing for 7 months. Courtrooms in the South and all over, you shave before you go in to show respect. Let me skip this ahead and just give you another perspective of why I called this out. And then we'll talk about where I called out Granny. Let me just see.
There was really no reason for Betty to be arrested anyway, so
Oh, yeah, she's going to continue on. I agree with that.
using that.
I don't know.
I don't wish that she would have been arrested. She didn't do anything to be arrested.
People want her arrested because they are using their own personal feelings against her.
I'm showing right now, I'm just going over a couple of previous live streams I did showing that I'm not biased in this situation. I've called out AWBJ and I've called out Granny's Watching before when I think they're wrong. So before I enter this situation, I'm just kind of trying to show that I'm not biased in it and I have no feelings towards one more than the other. Before I talk about what I'm going to say. Right now, I'm talking about where I called out allegedly with Brittney J when I felt she was wrong. And then we're going to go look at where I called out Granny's Watching and J for Justice when I thought that they were wrong.
Her. You know what I mean? Versus logic. Now, this is a different. I mean, I've seen pictures of Katie, but is this her like speaking?
I can agree with that. A lot of people are using their own personal opinions to attack Betty instead of logic. I don't think she should have been arrested. She does need to stop mentioning Sebastian's name because she's been ordered not to. And if she doesn't, then yeah, they're going to do something to show her that court order is something you take very seriously. Let me reiterate on that. Since more information has come out, because keep in mind this was like a month and a half, 2 months ago, I kind of feel like Betty might should have been arrested. She's kind of unhinged right now. I don't know who was following who that day. It's questionable at best. But if you feel your life is in danger, I don't fault you for getting a protective order. A RICO lawsuit is completely different than a protective order. But I'm glad she didn't get arrested, because Lord knows how many days that would have been talked about, and not Sebastian. And she did get arrested.
Speaking out about something, like she looks like she's aggravated there. Now,
Hey,
she kinda, in that picture, she kind of looks like she gained a little weight too, doesn't she?
She's more full.
Again, if she has gained weight, people stress eat. And I don't think we should be calling these people out for how they look or if they've gained weight. That's not helping Sebastian at all. I've got to mute for a minute, so I'm going to play this and try to cut in when I can.
Fuller in the face, yes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it, y'all. I don't understand how you can invest more time. Because I'm not trying to be mean, but it feels this way. It feels like she's investing more time in, filing a protection order against Betty than
searching for her own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
We don't know what she's done. We haven't been by her side or at her house.
Yeah, I guess she's aged, but snacks. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, and I don't understand how these people can be so mad at Seth, for being upset with them. That's his right.
Seth hasn't done anything to Sebastian.
We don't know that. We don't know that anybody's done anything to Sebastian. Look, I was already coming. That's not fair. That's not fair.
I can't. I'm honestly like, and I'm so just.
Maybe after all this, we should cover other cases.
Yeah, because it's going to get me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's going to get me in trouble with other creators, because the way that y'all heard what one of the creators said that I just played about Seth. She literally bragged about having Seth in front of a fire squad. And
that's disgusting. You shouldn't do that either.
When are they going to be held accountable for the things that they say? Lots of things that they have said is incriminating. I don't understand.
I don't think that you should be asking that, because I don't think the things that they have said has been incriminating. I don't think her story has changed. And if you're going to hold them to account for what they said, everybody on YouTube needs to be held accountable for what they've said too. Maybe I spoke too soon.
That's a good question.
And I'm so tired of YouTube not enforcing their terms of service.
Yeah.
Why is it there then? I've known hundreds, probably thousands, that have reported these channels and nothing happens to them.
They would have to report all channels, even this one.
Not only does nothing happen, but hang on. Which, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really big into taking other creators down or anything like that. I personally, for me, I just want people to be fair. You know what I mean? Like, they'll sit there and say that we are biased, towards Seth or whatever. But I have never heard anybody over on this side say anything that was remotely.
We don't talk that way about them.
No.
Every other word out of our mouth isn't a cuss word or insult or.
Now, I have to be fair. She supports Hey Sweet Tea, the one I just played. And we saw what he said and did pertaining to Chris. And the one I'm going to play in just a minute, I don't know if she's still real good friends with this person, but I know at one point this was like her best friend. So the people I'm referencing there is Crime Lines and Lies. And Hey Sweet Tea is going to be on a video I'm going to play referencing this situation. At some point in this live, she talks about how red their faces are as well, which is not fair. It's not helping anything. I don't think you should talk about people's looks, especially when they're going in a court of law where you have to dress a certain way, you have to look a certain way, you do things to be presentable and to show respect to the court and to the judge. You don't wear a hat in your courtroom, and the man might have a receding hairline. We don't know. Yeah. Yep, Trixie, yeah. Them denying doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. Right. So let me pull up the one. I think it is, I think I made a video out of it, but I don't know. No, I didn't, because that's just, hold on, let me think where it's at. Okay, I think it's before all of this. I know I had her on the thumbnail because I think the video I did was just about J for Justice. So there's that one. That one's about JLR and J for Justice. It's not those. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to get everything together, but I didn't have time. Let me see if it's this one real quick. I can't stand her, Trixie. I cannot stand her. I hate her. I hate her. I can't stand her voice. I can't do it. And the shit she said, especially in that stream,
No matter who you are, there are times it can.
The things she said, especially about them in court, made me sick. I don't like her. I don't think I ever have liked her. Okay, so let's see. I don't even know who this is that I'm talking about. Okay, so this is it. This is the one where I called out Granny's watching and J for Justice. And again, I'm just showing that I am for Justice and Granny's watching a live. I'm showing that I'm unbiased in this situation, okay? And then we're going to talk about the filing. I wanted to play a video where Chasing True Crime broke it down and like did an AI generated basically summary of it, but of the filing, but Joneson deleted her live. Damn it, Joneson. And so we're going to talk about some of the things, if I can remember off the top of my head. I was trying to look through the files, but I can't post them because I'm not going to be doxing anybody. I'm not that type of person. Oh, hi, Content Angel. It's nice to see you. Yeah, so I'm trying to find specifically what was said by AWBJ about Granny's watching specifically, but and like, you know, the issue she has with her in the lawsuit, but I'm having, like, I'm trying to read it while I'm doing this, so it's hard. So Trixie, I can see that and I understand that, and that's good. I'm glad. I mean, I'm not trying. I don't want to lose you as a friend, but and I hope this don't upset you. I try. I'm very much with, like, if I'm gonna call out one person, I've got to call out the other people, and I try to be equal across the board. So I don't know if you might want to not watch this part or step out. So it's just, you know, I saw something they did and I didn't like it. So I'm going to play this real quick. And again, I'm just trying to show unbiased across the board. Like and subscribe. I will leave their links in the description box. It is, when I listen to videos on YouTube or record anything, I do it on at least 1.5 speed because I don't have all day. I got a lot of things to do. So I can understand it. Hopefully you can. If you can't, slow the video down to like 0.25 or something, and you should be able to understand everything.
I can share this video.
Oh, it's so low. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it louder.
Is a YouTuber over 98 accused of violating order of protection. This is 2 hours ago. And this is
Let me slow it down because it's set up even more.
But it did not bring them any closer to finding their son. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from Henderson.
Okay, so let me tell you, I did this on my phone. I have not figured out how to do it on my laptop yet. So it is low. Feel free to turn your speaker up and I will try to. I just want to skip through so we can get to what we need to talk about. But there's several reasons for that happening. You know, the police doing forensics in the house, YouTubers acting crazy and going over there. Several excuses could be made for that, and I get that and I could understand that. But like I said before, if my child was missing, you could not pull me out of that damn house with the jaws of life unless I was searching for my child and I knew somebody was at my house in case my child came home. I think that what Seth meant by that statement was that he's not seeing her out here, so in his opinion she's not doing what she needs to do as a mother. But his opinion doesn't matter anymore to her. They're not married. Yes, they have a child in common, but as long as she's doing what she needs to do to find him, I think Seth has got it out here in the media and keeping it in the headlines. I think he's got that 100% under control, whether we like his methods or not.
Parents too. She saw him more than me, raised him more than me. Oh yeah, she only had him, most of the time for the past 15 years. I mean, at one point he went such a significant time without seeing Sebastian that he himself said when Sebastian came to him and I guess was going to open up about the alleged abuse he endured. Seth said, I know, son, I know. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you, son, but I had to get myself figured out. Oh my God, I know. Why would you not?
I don't want to down this man for saying that. Unless you've been in that situation where your child has been abused, you don't know how you would react. There's people out here like a woman in Anaheim, California, I'm going to talk about in the second half of this interview, who have children and did not take the time to get themselves together and now are facing life in prison because of stupid decisions that they made and their child died. I appreciate him taking time to get himself together if he needed to get himself together so he could be the best person he needed to be for his child. If more people did that, we might not see things happening like what happened in the Quentin Simon case where the mother was doing drugs and getting messed up and then something happened. If some time had been taken to get yourself together, then go back and be in your child's life or whatever you need to do, maybe it could have saved that life, the life of the girl in Anaheim, California. So many cases. I appreciate the fact that Seth took time to get himself together. Unfortunately, while he was taking time to get himself together, something happened to Sebastian, and that's not anything that Seth had any control over. So I don't fault the man for taking time to get his shit together. Because while I'm talking about this live stream, that's my video. So let me just double check and see if we've got it under my videos that we could play real quick without me talking maybe so much. Hold on, let me slow it back down.
I don't know, man. I really don't even know what to make of this. Apparently someone braided his hair after he got in the court, which is...
This is the main part anyway. Okay, I don't know if y'all live in the South. I think J for Justice does, but down here in the South, if you go to court, you better be dressed up. I had court, I think I've said it on another live, I had court for a traffic ticket and I went in there and I was wearing a dress and I had a shawl and I had pantyhose and I had dress shoes, and that's not my normal attire. And I'm going to tell you, the people that were going in there for the same thing, traffic tickets and things, that were wearing tank tops and booty shorts and tennis shoes and shit, they were getting hit with court costs and fines. Mine, I just walked up to the DA and showed him the documents I needed to show him, and my shit got dismissed. They told me, have a good day. No court costs, no nothing. I can't tell you how many courtrooms I've been in just in the state that I live in, and men are getting sent back out to go get a belt. And if they're late for court, then that's on them because their pants are sagging. If your shirt is not tucked in, you get sent back out. I don't know where y'all go to court at, but down here in... Hold on, I found it real quick. Let me grab it real quick. Hold on just a minute. I'm just again trying to show unbiased across the board. Almost done. If my computer will load. Right here. Okay. This is titled J for J, GW.
I have a secret to impressing all of your...
Talking about Seth. I do not understand why people do this and how it helps find Sebastian. And that's my point in calling them out on this stuff.
Of Seth. Okay, here we go. This is it says YouTuber Bullhorn Betty accused of violating order of protection. This is 2 hours ago. And this is WKRN News 2.
And a missing boy's parents appearing in court today, but it did not bring them any closer to finding their son. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from Hendersonville back in February. His family was in the courtroom today for a YouTuber accused of harassing and stalking Sebastian's mother and step-grandparents. Now, an order of protection banned Andrew Griffin, who's also known as Bullhorn Betty, from having any sort of contact with the family, directly or indirectly. Court documents also claim she violated that. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry was in the Sumner County courtroom to try to get both sides of this story.
Sebastian Rogers' mother, stepfather, and step-grandparents have largely remained out of the media. They claim Bullhorn Betty has stalked and harassed them. The courtroom was split today into two sides. The YouTuber and Sebastian's father sat on one side. His mom, Katie, stepfather Chris, and step-grandparents were on the other side. Court documents claim Bullhorn Betty violated the order of protection by mentioning the family on a live stream. The brief hearing ended with the judge saying the matters would be heard on October 10th. Seth Rogers tells me it was frustrating to sit in the courtroom while his son is still missing.
I don't know if I talked about it. I might have to fix that, but I don't know if there's any commentary in this, but I'm going to add commentary and tell you what I'm trying to point out.
It's extremely frustrating that I have to come here to support somebody, which I don't mind coming to support somebody that's supporting my goal of finding my son. The fact that I have to come here because four people, want to put a restraining order against somebody who's just trying to find my son, and yet Sebastian is supposed to be her son as well.
Seth added that he believes Andra is only exercising her First Amendment right and has not done anything illegal. I also spoke with Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, who says he has no comment at this time.
Good for Chris. Yeah. What does that mean? She's supposed to be his parent too. In other words, she's supposed to stand next to me. It's solidary. That's what I think he means. She's supposed to be his parent too. She saw him more than me, raised him more than me. Oh yeah, she only had him, most of the time for the past 15 years. I mean, at one point he spent such a significant time with Garcia and Sebastian that he himself said when Sebastian came to him and I guess was going to open up about the alleged abuse he adored. Seth said, I know, son, I know. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you, son, but I had to get myself figured out. Oh my God, I know.
I don't understand how this is helping to find Sebastian is my point in this.
Why would you not sit with the family? Yes, I mean, it just does not set a good precedence. That it just looks really bad on him. I think it's a
Oh,
horrible.
hello, Feel the Love, Nana. Welcome.
I mean, horrible as that sitting here. You guys ever seen people at the court looking so good?
Thank you for being
I
here.
don't know, man. I really don't even know what to make of this. Apparently, someone braided his hair after he got in the court, which is just the whole thing is effing weird. He came dressed to the nines.
We talked about that already.
With the giant head, and and then you got. I mean, just the whole courtroom altogether was quite the scene, to be honest. I just want to say that no, Chris did not kiss Katie in front of Seth. They all walked out first, and then Chris and Katie and them left. Well, see, because here's Bullhorn Betty and them leaving. See this? I'm gonna mute it. Yeah, like that, like a wobble out. Look at Weeble Wobbles go. I want to know who these chicks are. Okay, so there's one chick here, and there's Katie. I know. I didn't see her the whole time. I didn't either. I just can't imagine. Like, did Nick say they had a body behavior analyst in the court that day, where the mole is in the brace being judged? as far as I heard, no, there was no one there. I guess from there. Sorry, there were people asking though, like, was dog there? It was so funny when
they were calling him Weebles, Wobbles, and things like that. I'm going to skip to where this was the part that really bothered me.
Listen, I would understand if Betty was strictly helping to look for Sebastian, but the fact of the matter is, all Betty has done is run her mouth. She's not out there actually searching. She actually made a comment how, these people, now they're searching, but they waited for something like this. Well, same to you, Betty, touche. You haven't been in Tennessee unless the court ordered you to be there. When are you out looking without being, having to be there? So this is TikTok Tony posted this on Facebook with these photos. For everyone that's been asking about Bullhorn Betty, she's always in good hands with us. Seth is also, he looked great in his suit today and delivered an incredible interview at Nashville. WKRN News 2. We have a great attorney and the law is on our side. I hope you all understand how hard Betty fights for these victims, and she doesn't back down.
Hold on.
Two bullies. The coffee club should be proud.
My live goes over it better, but
First of all, let's dissect this for what it is, right? For everyone has been asking about Bullhorn Betty. No, we're asking about Sebastian Rogers. Nobody gives a shit about any of you adults anymore. Move over, knock it off, time is up. Now what's the next part? She's in good hands. She's in good hands with the Weeble Wobble and the Weebles may wobble.
that's not fair. You can't, that's, again, it's not helping to find Sebastian, and you can't, why are you picking on this man? Just like AWBJ picking on Chris and Katie. I don't understand why picking on the parents of missing child is I don't understand how that's doing a damn thing.
Wobble, but they don't fall down. They weeble, they wobble, but they also don't run local prisons. But anyway, you moved this. I can't see it anymore. But sorry. The rest of what he said was bullshit, though. He looked great. He looked great in his suit today, delivered an incredible interview. It wasn't even incredible. You once again took the airtime you had to mention your 15-year-old missing child. Instead, you took shots at your ex-wife. It was not an incredible interview. He doesn't.
And that's true, though. She's not wrong in that. He could have talked about Sebastian, and he did mention Katie.
Looked incredible in that suit. Matter of fact, it looks like Beth Burrs. That hat is absolutely ridiculous. And to be honest, Betty, I was shocked. She looked okay for Betty, yeah. She must have lost a lot of weight. What's that new drug everybody's taking to lose weight? Oh, is that Ozempic? Yeah, it must be Ozempic. Or Adderall. You got a super chat. The HB's on her phone.
Okay. This is the main issue. Like, comparing him to the dog and stuff like that. That's my main issue with that. Okay, so let's move on. Just proving that I'm unbiased across the board. Now, there is a lawsuit that came out that Seth filed, or actually At Night Media, which is Nick the Hat. I've done some lives on him. He filed against a bunch of YouTube creators, Dog the Bounty Hunter. There's a lawyer. Brittany and them are going to talk about that. My main issue is that, okay, Seth could file a lawsuit against Granny's Watching because she has talked crap about Seth. It's a civil suit, so that you could file a civil suit against a ham sandwich if you wanted to. Number one. Number two, Granny's Watching has talked about Seth in a demeaning way. At the same time, allegedly with Brittany J has talked about Chris and Katie in a demeaning way. Okay, and you could say the RICO lawsuit is retaliation for what happened to Bullhorn Betty. Well, no, it's not. A protective order is very different than a lawsuit or a civil suit filed against YouTubers. Bullhorn Betty was followed somebody else, threatened to get a machete and a pew-pew, and was, whether you want to say she was following that man or he was following her, regardless, the parents of the missing child felt like they needed a protective order. If we look at what she did in the Quentin Simon case, I honestly, I don't blame them. However, that's, that it is what it is. Filing a lawsuit against Granny's Watching because she's called you a predator. They say that he's a predator because supposedly he got with Katie when she was young. The things he said about Sebastian, the things that she took from that and kind of made a conclusion about Sebastian and possible reasons why he's not allowed around Faith. All of those things could be taken and used in a lawsuit against her by Seth. Okay. But allegedly with Brittney J is mentioned in that under the umbrella of the At Night Media Group. Okay. Allegedly with Brittney J and Granny's Watching have been fighting on YouTube for, I don't even know, probably years, way before I was even here. I tried to stay out of it. I actually supported Brittany and was in her memberships under my regular YouTube channel until one day when Granny's Watching posted in a comment section talking about children being up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And they had just made a truce and said that they were not going to talk about each other at all anymore whatsoever. Well, then Brittany went live talking about this comment. And she, I don't know, I might better not say that, but she went live regardless about Granny's Watching making this comment. Okay. And then I went to watch Granny's Watching and see what she said about it. Well, Granny's Watching pulled up the whole comment section and showed what was said and how it wasn't about Brittany J's children. Now, could there be some underlying sly kind of to the side references saying that maybe you could have possibly maybe been referencing them a little bit? Maybe. Okay, I'll say that. But at the same time, y'all had made a truce not to talk about each other. She didn't directly say Brittany's children, and she wasn't even talking to you. You didn't show the whole comment section, and you used it to get attention, in my opinion. Brittany J did. And that's when I stopped supporting her. I stopped with the membership. I stopped with all of it because it really irritated me that they had made a truce not to talk about each other. That as far as I knew, Granny's Watching had not made a live stream about it. I don't follow them around chat to chat. So I don't know what was said in chats. But the first live stream that was made that I saw after they made the truce was by Brittany J, saying that Granny's Watching have made this comment, and then it was shown that the comment might not even possibly be about Brittany's children. That was kind of it for me. That was when I backed up and I was like, I'm not supporting any of this. Now the lawsuit's filed. I really feel like there's personal feelings involved in this. I don't think it's fair. I don't think you can go after somebody you're having a feud with on YouTube with a civil suit. I think that is way too far. I think it's a stretch. Regardless, you've both been going at each other. Okay. And then what recently happened was that Granny's Watching did a live stream about a person who got into a car wreck on Brittany's property. And she shared the obituary and things like that and said, this is where it was at. I did not pick up her address from that. I don't know if you could have had her address from that. I didn't really look into it. I'm going to play a live stream that Brittany J played last night. And she says, you know, that was kind of the final straw for me when I was deciding whether to get involved in this lawsuit or not. Well, at the same time, the lawsuit was released all over the internet and your physical address was in there. So for somebody like me, I didn't know where she lived at before that. I do now because I saw the lawsuit. Granny's Watching live stream did not give me that information, but the lawsuit did. I feel like it's more of a personal vendetta. And if we start as YouTube creators taking personal vendettas into account to go and file lawsuits against each other, what is that? What kind of precedent is that setting? Again, At Night Media and Seth Rogers filing a lawsuit is different than being a YouTube creator and being involved in a lawsuit against another YouTube creator and being listed on there as being on the side of them. If you felt like you needed, like if they asked you to help you with their case by telling what had happened to you, again, I don't understand, because that's all personal things. It's not, Brittany J has nothing to do with what Granny's Watching has done against Seth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everything that involves Brittany J and Granny's Watching and their feud is personal between Brittany J and Granny's Watching. It has not a damn thing to do with what Granny's Watching has done against Seth. And at the same time, Brittany J has not a damn thing to do with what Bullhorn Betty has going on with Chris and Katie. I don't think it's not right. It's not fair. And yeah, like Trixie said, I'm trying to read your comments too. They have both been doxxed before. I don't look for people's doxes. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. It's not my, I don't need to know. I don't need to know, you know. So, let me read your comments and then we will talk about Brittany J's string last night. Phil the Love says, I used to watch Jay for Jay and Granny, but you stopped. I understand that. I watch from the bushes. I watch a lot of, I do watch a lot of the drama stuff. I like Jonesin, and I've watched Deets a lot. Not a lot, excuse me. I haven't watched Deets a lot because her live streams are like 8 to 12 hours, like a long time. I don't have time to sit there and watch that, but I really like Jonesin a lot. Everybody else I kind of watch from the bushes, just to kind of see who's saying what about what. Content Angel says, thank you. Phil the Love says, BHB was followed, as was several other searchers on video. BHB just got some terrible advice and lawyer, in my honest opinion. I can see that. I do know that supposedly JLR was followed and asked not to search. That CJ, I don't know what his name is, but I know he was followed and asked not to search. And all of those are valid points. And need to be taken into account. And I can agree with that. It does appear that they were followed. I could see that. Trixie says, Granny did not say anything until BJ immediately did a live accusing her. Granny's wanted the truth. I agree with that. I thought that too. And that's when I was like, okay, I can't be a part of this anymore. I can't support this, because it really did seem like Granny wanted a truce. Now, again, I don't follow them in chat to chat. But at the same time, what you say in other people's chats is not a live stream on your channel about that person. So again, you know, what somebody says in another creator's chat, I mean, you know, it's just nitpicking, kind of. I mean, they're not making lives about it. They're talking about it in somebody else's chat. So, or you, or whatever. So again, why are you using that? Like, did she strike up a live about you? If she didn't, then technically you shouldn't have done that, because you're supposed to be in a truce, is my honest opinion. Yeah. Phil the Love says, I only like the truth. That's good. Yep. Trixie says, she feels like this will never go through. It's too mishmashed. Agreed. I think so too. I think it's a frivolous lawsuit. I don't think it will go through. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think, SF Investigates basically said that, it's a big nothing burger. And I think at the end of the day, that's exactly what it's going to be. Trixie doesn't believe they were followed, and that's cool. I understand that. There's videos out there. We can feel one way or about it or the other. I think at the end of the day, we need to remember that it is a possibility that they were followed. It's also a possibility that, taking into consideration that they are content creators, that it could have been all a setup. We don't know. We weren't there. And I'm not going to claim that I do know because, like I said, I was not there. So I'm going to pull up this live stream that Brittany's watching did last night, and I'm going to talk about it because I was literally screaming at my phone. I said Brittany's watching. Lord have mercy. You can tell where my mind's at trying to do all this stuff. Allegedly with Brittany J did this live stream last night. I will get on my phone and I will drop her again in the comments section, and I will drop her link. Okay. And I want to say this is all fair use. And I will leave her I will leave her in the description box below as well. Oh, hold on, let me get it pulled up so y'all can see it. Again, I don't think it's fair to take your personal vendettas and include them in a lawsuit. Did Seth have a right to file the lawsuit? I mean, unfortunately, yeah, probably, because Granny's watching said a lot of things about him that weren't so nice. But at the same time, everybody's been saying shit about Chris and Katie too. So, and they're not filing a lawsuit against YouTube creators. They filed a protection order against Bullhorn Betty. It's different, completely different. Trixie says, the only thing is it has big wheels in this lawyer suit, but I don't know. Yeah, the lawyer is supposed to be like a real good lawyer. Spanky, as they call him, is going to talk about him. I don't like him. I don't like him. I'm sorry. I just don't. Trixie says, right, exactly. I learned a lot by watching from the bushes. I ended up liking people I didn't know. Yeah, Feel the Love Me Too. And I ended up not liking some that I paid to support by watching. I'm going to grab her link and drop it in the description box below. Again, this is Brittany, allegedly with Brittany J, and her talking about the lawsuit that was filed last night. This is fair use, and I just am giving my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm going to speed it up. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Spanky, or let me stop. Justin is going to get up here and talk, and they both talk really slow, in my opinion. Of course, I think everybody talks slow. I probably talk about the same speed that they do, but we can listen to it on sped up a little bit and get through it.
Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome. I look like crap tonight, but I'm going to be on camera. I look like death warmed over. Don't know what kind of background noise you're going to hear, but hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Regardless of my feelings on this situation, if she hears this, I don't think you should say that. You should always understand that you are beautiful. And when you say things like that, you're putting yourself down. And all the people out there in the world that put people down, you don't need to put yourself down.
I'm tempted. Should I? I'm trying to figure out if I should open up chat.
Let me drop her link in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine, Mystic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hold on. He ain't gonna let me do it, guys. I ain't gonna be able to turn my camera on. Not until he goes and lays down. No, I shouldn't. Okay.
I'll put it where we need to be.
Christina. I don't even know where to start. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I think maybe I'll just open it up later after we talk a little bit. You know, I don't want to leave anybody. I will be a son of a gun. Y'all know, they know that I had to stream, and they just drink. You drank every ounce of my drink.
I don't.
You hop up off the couch when I told you.
Like when she talked.
I don't want you in the camera frame. That's why I want you to go in there and lay down.
Let me skip it ahead to where we need to be.
Research, gathering evidence, along with also being here with you guys every night, along with juggling my home.
Okay.
you so much for joining the green team. That means a lot to me as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your support. Okay, so today has been yeah, Seth, bless his heart. Today has been quite surreal. Today has been nerve-wracking, very nerve-wracking. Ben, we've missed you. Aw, hey. I started to message you. I was going to give you another day or two, and then I was going to message you and ask where you are. We've missed you so much. Thank you for coming in. How are you? I know everybody's missed you. Everybody's been looking for you. Oh, the Hatters Madness. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I promise I'm going to make it worth it. Okay, I promise. We're going to be doing some Patreon lives this week. We're supposed to get one in.
I agree with you, Feel the Love. I agree with you 100%. I don't care if somebody painted their face to look like a blue moon on the surface of Jupiter. I don't care. I don't care if it's a purple polka dotted people eater. I don't care. We don't need to talk about people's looks, their home life, their background, what their house looks like, all of that stuff. I don't agree with. And again, that goes back to some of the hostilities that have been between these two creators. Again, I mean, I don't think it should have ever been spoke on to begin with, but at the same time, you know, we can't go filing lawsuits or civil suits or whatever.
And then I'm aiming for one a day, and I mean one a week. But we will get there. I promise. It's been look, when I tell you guys that it has been a strenuous last couple of weeks, we have been working on this for, it's been a lot. And I have been trying to juggle research, gathering evidence, along with also being here with you guys every night, along with juggling my home life, right? So, you know, in the process, we got a live stream where I was very tired and sleepy. Well, that'll give you a good idea of why. Like, we have been, you guys, thank you so much. We have been hitting the ground running, and you can, oh my God, you guys, Jesus. Thank you. Holy moly. Thank you, guys.
Let me say about that real quick. Granny's what now? I don't really. Okay, so this happened after supposedly the civil suit had already happened and been filed, but Granny's Watching did put a video out, or a live stream, talking about where Brittany was supposedly, I'll say, falling asleep. I don't agree with that. I think it's wrong regardless. If you think somebody is on drugs, the last thing, in my opinion, we should do is make a live stream about it or point it out. If you want to go over the live stream, me as a person, I would cut that part out. Specifically, I would cut it out if I was going to talk about the live stream, just to not even touch it. I don't think it was fair to make a live stream about her nodding out and make the assumption that she was doing drugs. But it's not really involved in the civil suit because the civil suit was, from what I understand, maybe not filed, but had already been typed up and ready to go before that ever happened. So we can't use that and say, well, Brittany, you know, felt some type of way because of Granny doing that stream, because that stream is not included in part of the lawsuit or the filings or whatever. Like, the paperwork was already done before that even happened.
We appreciate you, Ben. I hope you stick around and hang out with us. Look at all of this. Wow, Ben gifted 5. Thank you so much, Ben, for gifting 5 memberships. And then we got, let me make sure I catch up. Let me see. And I will try to get all your comments too. The Hatters Madness, thank you for becoming a member. Let me see. Ben gifted 5. And then we have Coco Honey. Sorry, guys. Coco Honey, thank you so much for becoming a member. You are amazing. Welcome to the green team, my love. Then we have R. Taylor. Thank you so much for becoming a member.
Elephant. It was so cute.
I think you've told me this before. Is it Zaya? Which is beautiful. I've said that before too. Very pretty name. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. And then Triggered. Thank you, Triggered, for gifting 5. Guys, oh, so sweet. Thank you. Welcome to the. I just hit the spring, y'all. Sorry.
You just spring?
I hit the spring on my microphone holder. I don't. Do you not have a spring on your microphone stand?
You hit the spring on your microphone holder in 1976. Come on, let's get real.
Yeah, right. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you
You
doing?
can do it better than me. Triggered, thank you for the 5 memberships. Guys, if you were gifted from any of these incredible people, thank you so much. Hey, SW, Samantha, Joy, Britt, you're a part of the 2024 Truth Tellers. Bring justice for the people who are constantly shamed and bullied. We appreciate you, and you will never be silenced. Actually, I'm glad that you worded it like that, because that's kind of where I'm going to go with what I got to say tonight. So thank you.
Let me say that I think it would have been way better if she would have done this by herself. She's the one in the lawsuit. She's the one that's going after Granny's Watching. Trixie, yeah, I don't go on camera. The last thing I'm going to do is speak about somebody's looks. I've got to get some things taken care of, and then one day maybe I'll be able to get on camera, but I'm surely not about to talk on anybody's looks. I'm not getting on camera because I myself am really self-conscious. I don't think any of us should feel that way. I think we should all just be able to be ourselves and not worry about people talking crap. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Back to the live stream. I really wish she had done this by herself, and just put, because it's her, the thing specifically alleged at her and go in between her and Granny's watching is about her, not her and Justin. And then the bullying aspect of it, with Samantha Joy right here saying, Britt, you are part of the 2024 Truth Tellers, bringing justice for all the people who are constantly shamed and bullied. We appreciate you, and you will never be silenced. Okay, but they go back and forth at each other. It's not that Brittany's being bullied, in my opinion. It's that they go at each other constantly, and they say mean things at each other constantly. Or, like I said before, there was a truce, and then you picked a comment that Granny's watching did put somewhere where she might or might not have been talking about your children. A comment in another creator's live stream, not a live, but you picked a comment in somebody else's live stream and then decided to go live on it and do a whole video about it. Like that's you're kind of asking for it at that point, because she hadn't done that. She legitimately had not talked about Brittany in her lives. And I told Granny's watching under my original name before they made this truce. Granny's watching would say, I don't ever talk about Brittany. I don't say anything about Brittany. But in the beginning of her live stream, somebody would comment and she would make an underhanded remark about Brittany in the beginning of her lives. And I was like, but you do. And she did. But then they made the truce, and she wasn't even doing that anymore. And Brittany called her out on the comments. So that's when I was like, yeah, I can't anymore with this.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I appreciate you, Samantha. It's very sweet of you.
Oh, feel the love.
Justin?
I do not, Ben George.
What do you
feel the love? Don't ever feel like you have to buy anything to be here. I'm just letting you know. I'm just trying to catch up on comments. Don't ever feel like you have to buy anything to be here. I'm glad that people gift you memberships and you win them sometimes. That's the best way to be about it. Don't ever feel like you have to buy anything.
What are you thinking, Justin?
Justin has hydraulics on his mic.
Hey, Ollie.
Ben, you can't go being a stranger.
No, this is the main one in the Krama community, BJ. When somebody mentions BJ in the true crime drama community, they're talking about allegedly with Brittney J. Phil Love says that's what's wrong with YouTube. They like to shame, bully, and put people down. That's why a lot won't come on camera, and I don't blame them. I will tell you, Phil the Love, I wanted to do a channel like this for a very long time, and I would not do it for probably about 2 years. I wanted to do one, and I finally just got up the nerve and said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'll talk. Maybe somebody will listen. Maybe somebody won't. And now we've got a whole big speculating family member. Not family member, but we got a whole big speculating family now. I think there's like 2,200 subscribers, which is awesome. I'm really amazed. I can't believe it. But yeah, I'm still not going on camera until I fix some things, because of how people will talk about people and how they look and overweight and hair and all of the thing. I'm just, no. Feel the love. I know the feeling. I would like to buy a lot of memberships from channels too. But you know, it's nice to be gifted them.
Stranger like that now. You gotta.
Well, at least he visited you. I mean, he doesn't even come to see me anymore, like at all. So that's
Oh,
right.
being you in trouble.
That's good. So how you doing, girl? How you doing?
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm nervous. Cassie Roku, thank you so much. She says love always wins. Thank you, Cassie.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think you know, I think it's just one of those things where, you know, it's, you know, how, when I'll just bring up Betty, for example, you know, it felt like it was okay to some people when it was Betty. Yep. But, you know, when the shoe seems like it's on the other foot, you know, it's a mess.
It is. Absolutely.
You know, and I just don't understand. I was saying this on my channel earlier.
Absolutely not, Justin. What was done against Betty was a protective order, specifically asking her to stay away from Chris and Katie. Okay. It was not a civil suit filed against YouTube creators by and having another YouTube creator that's been in a feud with this YouTube creator for some years now. Like, you got Brittany as a defendant in the lawsuit and going against Granny's Watching, who she's been in a personal vendetta with for years. It's absolutely not the same. Like I said, Seth Rogers filing a lawsuit against Granny's Watching, that's one thing, because Granny's Watching has said some things against Seth that you could technically say was defamation or slander. Okay, that's one thing. But when you bring in personal vendettas that two YouTube creators have had, and one's a defendant and one's a plaintiff, it's a whole different story. This is absolutely nothing like what was going against Bullhorn Betty. And it's absolutely not even in the same ball field.
Like, I don't understand why people just can't live and let people run their channel the way they want to run their channel. And then if you don't like it, then don't watch. Or if you don't like the way someone covers true crime, then
Ollie, I could be wrong about that. The only BJ I know that people reference is her. I could be wrong. There could be another one.
do better. You know,
1,000%.
do better.
1,000%. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's just the way I feel, because, like, you know, like the bashing and all of that, what does it do? It's, if you don't like the way you handle a channel, I handle a channel, Josh handles a channel, Mr. E, whoever, what does just going and, like, trying to bash a person do? It doesn't do anything for the case, because that's clearly what the person says they have a problem with.
Yep.
I can agree that bashing people is not helping the case and is not going to help find Sebastian, but at the same time, they do it to each other constantly. Feel the love. I don't know how to feel about it. About the BHB situation. I've seen videos where it looks like she's following him, and I've seen videos where it looks like he's following her. I'm kind of on the fence about it. The main thing, though, for me is that if you're in a live stream, which she was, saying you're going to get a machete and a pew-pew, I think that's grounds to get a protective order. Personally, if somebody said that they were going to get a machete and a pew-pew referencing me, and unfortunately my missing child, like, if I put myself in the shoes of Chris and Katie, I would be concerned enough to get a protective order, but mainly on the saying that she was going to get a machete and a pew-pew. And I've seen that for myself through the live.
And if they have a problem with that, then do better, right? Do better with it.
That's point two.
Why
tricks?
continue? Like, I don't know. I just don't get.
I don't even know how to answer this.
Let me just say that I welcome all opinions here. I do not want an echo chamber. Oh, let me drop the link if anybody wants to jump up. But yeah, I like to hear all opinions. I want this to be a place where we can all talk about all our opinions, and people can be on different sides, and we can like adults talk about, well, I feel this way because of this, and I feel this way because of this. This is an open family style channel where we can all discuss. I don't want everybody here that only sees my way. That's not fun for me. I like to hear everybody's thoughts, opinions, and perspectives, and I try to look at it from everybody's perspective. I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up.
Mish. So, Mish, there are aspects of this filing that, believe it or not, like this, I just want to let anybody know. I don't even know if people have this perception or not, but I think it's greatly, extremely important that people realize that not every aspect of the filing are we a part of, right? So, I have nothing to do with Seth and Tony's.
Can you just start from the beginning about, like, what happened today? Because I think some people was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yes. Okay.
Maybe that's what we should do.
So, today, there was a request for an injunction filed.
Federal.
Again, I don't like that Justin is up here. I wish he'd have let her do it herself. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to join me on panel.
A federal injunction. Yeah, go ahead. You do it.
Well, no. I mean, you can probably explain it better than I can. But there's a federal injunction against I guess.
That's true, Phil the Love. That is true. Phil the Love says, well, the machete she got was said on that video, and it was for when she goes in the woods. I know Terry Lynn could have used one big time, and that's. I mean, I have no problem. I could definitely see needing a machete to go in the woods. I don't remember. I mean, I saw kind of like a little clip of it. I wonder if you can tell me if she made it very clear in the live that she was using the machete to go look in the woods. If she was, that makes me feel different about the machete comment. She also talked about a pew pew for personal protection, which again, I can understand needing to be personally protected, but if I'm afraid you're going to use it on me, I might try to seek help. You know what I mean? Like, I need the context, I guess, that she said it. You know what I mean?
Yes, it would be a YouTuber and a TikToker. I guess a TikToker. And 50 John and Jane Does that are not, I don't know if they're publicly mentioned on that or not, but
right.
They're just they line it out about from A to Z. It starts with literally the day Sebastian goes missing, and it leads up to, for instance, people being harassed since. So these groups coming in trying to find Sebastian, pulling out group after group, pulling out since Sebastian went missing because they're being followed, harassed, tire slash, all of that. And so, and then it leads up into things Betty's had going on, and just the it's really.
Let me Trixie said the explanation was done after she said it. So maybe, again, stating it when she made the statement, like her explanation would have been better, in my opinion. Ben George here says, and Ben George, let me just say this Ben George person went up on Granny's Watching's live, which I would not have done. I saw her tear apart one of the dog handlers, which it actually ended up being fake. But at the time, we didn't know the dog handler was fake, and I didn't like how she kind of was kind of aggressive with that girl, and it made me feel, a little upset about it. And Ben George had enough courage to get up there on her panel and talk to her, and I respect him for that. Because I personally, she's going to fuss at you if you get on her panel. So it makes me nervous as a, person. But he says, if you have an argument with another opinion, counter the opinion. It can be done respectfully. The best way to do it is actually state your case. That is a great point. And I wish it could have been done that way instead of getting yourself involved in a lawsuit against another creator. I wish it had been done that way.
It's really gotten off the track a bit about, this is just my opinion, by the way, of it's no longer about Sebastian anymore. It's been more, at least in my opinion, about trashing the parents. And, like I was saying today, Brittany, when it comes to, take Seth, for instance. Seth, let's make this crystal clear. None of the parents have been named a suspect.
Okay, but every side is trashing parents. None of he's about to say none of the parents have been named suspects. And while that is true 100%, one side is bashing Seth and the other side's bashing Chris and Katie. Everybody is bashing the parents. And the parents, if they are not suspects and have not been named a person of interest in this case, why do we even need to talk about them specifically and what charges they could have or whatever? If we're trying to find Sebastian, why do they need to even be really brought into it? You could say, well, they were the last ones to see him. Okay, but bringing in all this extra drama and shit is not necessary. Your feelings about them, how they look, how they act, all of these things is not pertinent to the case of trying to find Sebastian. So why even bring it up on all sides?
Or even a person of interest. So we have that. But then take, for instance, Seth, who has not been named a person of interest or anything. He's actually even went farther than that and showed his timesheet and that he could not have been anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Then he takes a lie detector test on national television to prove to, a lot of the naysayers that he has, nothing to do with it, even on top of, authorities saying that there's no suspects or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you can talk about the case. Talking about the case and having an opinion is one thing, but then once you, for instance, Seth was at work. We know that. We've seen his timesheet to
I'm backing this up a little bit.
do with it, even
Comment.
on top of, authorities saying that there's no suspects or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is,
See, this person, yep, right here says that's been on both sides. And if you can't see that, you have to step back. That is on target 100% comment right there. It has been on both sides. And this man right here talking the loudest right now is one of the worst when it comes to bashing Chris and Katie. Like,
thing is, you can talk about the case. Talking about the case and having an opinion is one thing, but then once you, for instance, Seth was at work. We know that. We've seen his timesheet, took a lie detector test. Once that happens, it's out. He had nothing to do with that night. So why does people keep dragging this father who's done everything he can publicly to prove to the world that he has nothing to do with this? Why is he being dragged through the mud? I mean, just really, really awful things.
Mm-hmm.
but again, at the same time, you, sir, have said some pretty awful things about Chris and Katie. Just to be fair.
So, and then it's just been people who have, who try to, who want to come out and speak out. They won't any longer because of the hate that they get. Take Bobby, for instance, right? When she went on JLRs.
Hold on. It's a commercial.
I mean,
Oh,
it was nothing but hate once she came out, and the neighbor said, "Oh God, sorry, I'm not doing it any longer."
Yep.
And then Betty's the
But again, that's going to be on both sides. When you come out and give your opinion and talk about a case that is this big, there's going to be people who disagree with you and might possibly talk crap. If you're not mentally prepared to have people disagree with you and talk crap about what you say and rip apart your story, whether you're telling the truth or not, then you shouldn't come out at all. In my opinion.
I forget her name. Who was the lady that was associated with
Oh, Yaya. Mm-hmm.
Yaya. She was in my chat earlier, and she says,
Or Yada.
yeah, I mean, she's gotten a lot of things, and it's just been,
Yada
why
had to delete her Facebook page the
yeah,
next day.
mhm,
Very next
yeah.
day.
Everyone who is, it seems like everyone who's, if you stand a certain way and you want to search or you want to help, it's like, it feels like, it's this campaign of hate at times. And I just don't understand why. I have literally supported anyone who searches, no matter, if we believe the same thing.
Now, if we go with the people are getting chased and ran out of town, that's not cool. If that's actually what's happening, that's not cool at all. I would hope that regardless of what's going on, you would want your child found. Okay, so if somebody, the Bower Sox, Chris and Katie are running people out of town that are searching for Sebastian and are legitimately searching for Sebastian, that's a problem for me. However, saying that, people can't use your son's videos, pictures, and things like that, and nobody's allowed to talk about your child is another issue I have. Now, it's been rumored that Seth has done that. From what I've seen, he has not asked anybody to specifically stop talking about Sebastian. I think it's to stop talking about like the slanderous things and the bad things. I'm not positive on that though, so maybe don't quote me on that. That's just what I've gathered from what I've watched.
Or not. I've always, I've tried to keep it consistent in that.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Here, let me catch this one real quick. I know she did, Nicole. I've got everything documented. R. Taylor said, R. Taylor, my throat's been doing this weird crap all day.
Technically, Granny's watching does not have to stop talking about you, and she's going to be feeling some type of way right now because you basically threw yourself right in the middle of a lawsuit that's being filed against her. So yeah, she's going to be pissed off right now. And if she was on the side of somebody that hit you with a lawsuit and said that you could not talk anymore, or whatever, used her, if you got hit with a lawsuit where Granny's watching used her personal vendetta against you to file a lawsuit or help somebody else file a lawsuit, you would be feeling some type of way as well. All of us would.
All day. I think I'm trying to get sick.
Yeah, I've been sick all week.
I was trying to talk to Justin earlier and it barely even had a voice. Our Taylor says, thank you so much, by the way. She says, find Sebastian Rogers, bring Sebastian Rogers home. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And here's the thing though, like, because when this first was brought to my attention that what was going to happen, that was my question. I was like, how would me or any of some of these other people, because I see some of the comments, somebody had asked how, why am I taking part in a filing and how does that have anything to do with Sebastian Rogers? I'd like to explain that because even though my situation
I really would like for you to explain it as well.
Has been taking place a lot longer. This all kind of comes in together because you have a separate situation, which is my situation, which all y'all know about. And then we have Sebastian Rogers' case, who all of us have been covering. And we have a group of people who have taken this case and used it as a way to bash others on YouTube. And so we have this situation where I'd already had issues with Granny's watching, right? And then since Sebastian's case has started taking front street, it's become a major talking point and you basically used as a weapon to come against, and not just against myself, but many others who support.
Okay, but how is it being used as a weapon to come against you, specifically the Sebastian Rogers case? Because it seems to me like it's more of personal vendettas that are being used for you two to come against each other. Like, I don't understand how Sebastian Rogers in his case is being used to specifically come against you or target you. You could say because you feel on the side of Seth and they feel on the side of Chris and Katie. Okay, but at the same time, y'all all talk crap about them. Now, while one side doesn't make thumbnails that are depicting the parent of a missing child in horrific ways, you do talk about their alcohol and drug, they're having the liquor cabinet. Again, I mean, you knew how it felt when somebody accused you of doing things that you weren't doing, but you had already done that to Chris and Katie. When you talk about them gaining weight or faces being red and all of that, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. So I don't understand how the Sebastian Rogers case and your coverage of it is being used specifically against you by these other creators.
To the point where, all of the creators that support him can't talk about, Sebastian or the case without having a live stream done about us the very next day. Our live streams are recorded. Our, anything that we post, whether it be a community post, is looked at. Our words are.
But again, that's your personal. That has a lot to do with the personal relationship you have with these creators that are doing live streams about you or going against you. Or with your panel guests and things that they say. A lot of people accuse Brittany J of grifting. A lot of this stuff has to do with that, not necessarily the Sebastian Rogers case specifically. Now, people do talk crap about her making Seth a moderator in her channel. I can give her that. People say that she did it to get money or views or something to that effect. I can see her making Seth the moderator because there's a lot of fake Seth accounts out there. Because there's a lot of fake Seth accounts out there. There's a lot of fake Chris and Katie accounts out there. Would I have done it? No. But if that is your legitimate reason for doing that, okay, I could see it. But again, like, they use that against her, but that's not specifically the Sebastian Rogers case and her coverage of it. That's making the father of a missing child a moderator in your chat. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference for me.
Critiqued. Our chats are critiqued. The subscribers have been attacked. And it's a situation where I told you guys this the other day. Just think about it. As soon as Seth and Tony announced that there's going to be a vigil, what happens? You have all these people that start looking up everybody who's going to take part in the vigil. They pull up all their names. They try to go, find out what organizations they affiliate with. Are they legitimate? Where's this money going? And to the point where a private vigil for a 15-year-old boy has become a circus show, and you have multiple live streams on the day that Sebastian's vigil is taking place, and it's no longer about Sebastian and bringing awareness, something beautiful, a vigil where a lot of people are coming together. They have this awesome bike ride, even down to the shirts, Justin, were made fun of that day.
What do you mean?
When they did the vigil for Sebastian, there was nothing that wasn't mocked or critiqued about that day.
That's people being petty.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, people are going to be petty. But a lot of that, again, had to do with the fact that Bullhorn Betty was told not to go to Tennessee, and she was the one, she was there, and she ended up getting arrested that day. I think that was more of why people were trying to figure out who was going to be there, what organizations it was. The whole, like, Michaela's Mutts thing. Is it legitimate? Are they laundering money? All of that. Again, I mean, I don't think we should do things like that. That's not real fair. I would hope nobody's laundering money. We would have to hope that that's not going on, but I don't think I feel like that was wrong. I can agree with that, but again, going back to the visual, it had more to do with the fact that it was set up by Bullhorn Betty, and she was going to be there, even though the protective order had been ordered against her and said that she was not supposed to even mention Sebastian's name. I think it had more to do with that than anything else. Not necessarily. I mean, I think Bullhorn Betty's kind of the one that messed it up for Sebastian, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
People showing up, but that's the thing is, like, you have people that are literally going to the actual vigil that weren't welcome and recording it. My whole point of saying all this is, it's a problem. It's become an absolute problem.
Right.
And so what do you do? What do you do? And if people say that this doesn't, block or get in the way of the goal to try to find him, it absolutely does. It causes a big issue. And then you got to remember, not only is the people that are inciting hate against
Trixie, that's another good point. I watched a live stream that Nonsense did on that, and I'm not gonna say one way or the other about Nonsense. Maybe one day, but not today. I did, however, see the stream she did on that, where she showed that Teth and Sony is what I just said. Seth and Tony said that they have proof that he did not leave. What is it? Okay, Trixie says Ellie did not say there is no proof he left the home. Ellie said there is no proof of foul play. Seth and Tony are the ones who said there was no proof he left the home. And Nonsense pointed that out very well. She brought timestamps and clips of streams where it has never been said by Ellie that Sebastian did not walk out of that house. My opinion, some of the first live streams I did was about Mob doing the Mob Crew, which is Monsters Under Our Bed, doing the overlay of the camera, showing how it could possibly be two lights going around the back and there could be a car parked there. I could see that. I think that's accurate. I think it's possible. The FBI offered a $50,000 reward like the next day that he came out with that. I think it's my personal opinion is that he pointed out something. They kind of had like an ace in the hole. So at that point, they put out the $50,000 reward because they knew that that piece of information was out here now because Mob Crew had figured it out. People are going to attack me for that, whatever. That's just how I feel about it. I've always thought he walked out of that house because when you think about a child going outside barefoot, if he did go outside barefoot with no shoes, then why would you go me, myself, why would I run outside barefoot? Well, maybe I left my charger in the truck or something. I'm not about to take a walk down the driveway, up the street and around the corner barefoot, right? If I'm going outside real quick to grab something from the truck, yeah, I might go outside barefoot. If I think I'm only going to be outside for a second, yeah. And I think that's what happened. If he really left out of the house and he was barefoot, I think he just thought he was going to be gone for a second and then come right back in. And for the longest time, I could not figure out why he would think that. But then Joneson brought up the fact that, if you're talking to somebody that's a predator online as a child and they say, something like, hey, I've got this Minecraft code or this Minecraft figurine that nobody else has, and I'll give it to you if you just come out to the car. You can just grab it real quick, or I'll give it to you real quick, and then you go right back inside. And he's like, okay. And instead of grabbing whatever he was supposed to grab, somebody grabbed him, unfortunately. That's what I think happened. And then when Mob Crew did the overlay showing how it could possibly be two people walking and there could be a car there, I was like, bam, there it is. That's just my thoughts on that. Hello, Jenny Jen. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for being here. And thank you everybody else who is here. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the Speculating family.
Seth, but you have their followers who believe every single thing that these creators are saying. And so then they go and perpetuate the hate and the drama even more. People are allowed to review, and that won't change.
But people on your side are doing the same thing. Everybody's followers are going to stand up for the creator they like and are going to be on their side and are going to see from their perspective. That's just how it is. This person, I really like them and what they're saying. Right here, they said people are allowed to review, that won't change as public posting. You're talking about commentary. Sorry, it won't. Public actions are allowed to be spoke on. Conflating these things to your issues, nope. And that's exactly it. We're allowed to speak on things. People are allowed to talk about things in commentary and review live streams. But when you take it and file a lawsuit against another creator that you personally have a vendetta with, that's a problem, in my opinion.
Change. No,
really?
People are allowed to review. People are even allowed to, well, let me read it off to be fair. People are allowed to review. That won't change. It's public posting. You're talking about commentary. Sorry, it won't. Public actions are allowed to be spoken on. Conflating these things to your issues, nope. No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it is a part of the bullying and harassment. It's been perpetuated. And if you don't blame me for tying these things together, the people that are tying these things together are the ones that are actively coming against creators like myself who are supporting Seth. But to say that it's merely commentary, that's not true at all. You're not allowed to sit there and call somebody a predator. You can't sit there and tell people that Seth Rogers, how do I even say this?
Now, again, I agree with that. You can't call somebody a predator. You can't say that Seth Rogers basically slept with a child because of how old Katie was when they got together. And you also can't say that Chris doesn't want Sebastian around Faith because he's a predator. Those are slander. At the end of the day, it's defamation, and there absolutely can be something done about that. But that, again, is set against the person who did it. And I'm not going to say who did it. We can all figure it out. Not you and your personal vendetta against another YouTuber. That there's two totally different things here. You are already biased against this person. And you already feel some type of way against this person. And now you're in a lawsuit that's going against this person. You, with all of your fees and emotions that you have against this person, are now involved in a lawsuit suing this person. That's the problem. Trixie said, me, myself, have always been barefoot. Girl, I have always been a barefoot girl. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. I hate shoes. So, yeah, that's a good point. I used to be, but as I've got older, my feet hurt. So if we take that into consideration, like even though Seth and them have said that he didn't like to be outside barefoot, if he was a barefoot type of person, then could he have ran away or thought that he was just going to get out of the house? Sure. That's a good possibility. Could he have ran out the door because he was afraid of something, some kind of argument going on, yelling, screaming, he was going to get in trouble, and he took off running? Very possible. All of these are possible scenarios, and we won't know what happened until he's found, unfortunately. And I hope every day that that boy makes it home, whatever's happened to him.
Engaged in, relations with a child. Those things are being spoken.
That was said.
I
got you. Okay. I got you. No, that's been said. Yeah.
And then let's not forget, Sebastian has been labeled as someone who is essaying other people.
Yeah, I got you.
That's not commentary. I don't know if y'all read, and shout out to Mr. and Mr. E. They did an incredible job reading those documents. And if you guys were listening or you've read them yourself, it stated in one part of that the things that are being said have very real consequences. If one of those prisoners were to have caught wind of what one of these creators were saying in regards to Seth, that could get him unalived. And it's blatantly false.
Well, and there are also special laws when it comes to the police force. He is part of the police force. And
that is true. These things being said about Seth, if somehow, again, he works at county, they don't really have access to the internet. But again, okay, let's say somebody new comes in that has seen all these things. It can be used against him. They could possibly take him out because of that. Because especially when you're talking about jail and these people who have children, they feel some type of way about it. And it could be detrimental to his life by saying these things, technically, if you really wanted to be technical about it. But again, that's set against the person who said it, not you with your personal fifis against another person with their personal fifis, and a thing that's been going on since way before Sebastian Rogers was ever brought up.
How you
That's my
and what you
problem.
say about someone who is an officer and what you do, just that can change things as well. There's that, like so.
No, and as far as I'm concerned, so I don't even know how I say this.
Right, Trixie. Yeah, he does not have law enforcement authority. He does work in the corrections. I do believe. I could be wrong, but I do believe he is a corrections officer, and that's what I mean. Like, if an inmate found out or thought that he was a predator or hurt a child, there are some inmates that would absolutely lose it and try to take him out. But again, I mean, if you look at, how do I say this? There's been things that have been said about Sebastian's name, how he got his name, and things that happened before Sebastian was born, and that Sebastian was named after things that happened before Sebastian was born that would involve other children, possibly or possibly not having been created. And Sebastian was here or born when Katie was like 18 or 19. So if you say, okay, well, there had been others before that, unless you were having a terminated pregnancy or not having all the way through a pregnancy, like every 3 months on the dot, there's only, if it happened like every 3 months, like, okay, it happened three months, and then 3 months later it happened again, and then 3 months later it happened again, and then 3 months later it happened again, like on the dot. Maybe since she was an adult, it could have been since then. And I don't know how to explain it other than that. If you don't get it, I guess you're not going to get it, because I can't really go more into detail about that. But it doesn't seem like it would happen every 3 months on the dot, like 4 times in a row. That's just too many coincidences. More than likely, it happened before she was technically an adult. So with the things that have been said and put out here, technically it could be that those things are true, not necessarily, but again, I have to be very, very careful. No, I'm not saying Seth is a predator. What I'm saying is maybe Katie was not a legal adult when they got together, but at the same time, if she was 17 and he was like not that much older, it wouldn't be different. I have to tread very careful. I mean, not wouldn't be different, but it wouldn't be as big of an issue. But I have to tread very, very carefully when I say things like that. Again, going back to the statement that was made about Sebastian's names and where they come from, you have to take that into consideration and question how old Katie was when they first got together, is what that all boils down to. It is possible that they got together after she was adult and those things happened afterwards. I don't know. And again, it doesn't have that much to do with finding Sebastian, in my opinion. Regardless, it has nothing to do with why Sebastian's missing, what happened to him, and finding him now.
First, I need to clarify this, because this is a comment that I've seen several comments, enough to where it concerns me, and I want to put this to rest. While I appreciate everything that Nick and his team are doing, I'm absolutely not a partner to Nick and At Night Media. That's not true. Taking a break from stream to say, hey, Missy, thank you for all you guys are doing.
Okay, but if you're not a partner and you're not involved with them and you're not any of that, then why are you being mentioned on their lawsuit as a defendant or, on their side?
Love you so much. Mr. E's gonna have to gargle with some warm salt water.
Okay.
Oh my God,
Thank you for being here.
I got a headache from reading it earlier, and I just was like, guys, I gotta go. I did the live earlier I've been doing it all week for Sebastian Rogers, not Scott, Sebastian Rogers. Quentin Simon case, pardon me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, a true psychic.
Lord,
thank you, sweetheart, for becoming a member. You're beautiful. And Miss E also wants to clarify that neither are they. Okay,
Me
none
too.
of us are. None of us are. Not that I think that's a bad thing. I don't want it to come off that way either. But none of us are legally or we're not aligned with At Night Media or Nick in any way more than a friendship. There's no transactions, nothing.
And I think that should be put to bed as well, because after you've stated this, that's it. There is no.
But again, if you were not, you would not be referencing texting him on an earlier live stream, and you wouldn't be in this lawsuit with your personal vendetta that you have against this person. It would be specifically what she's done to defame or slander Seth and Sebastian. It would not have a damn thing to do with you. If you were not personally involved, if you are not going to be on the lawsuit or in the lawsuit, and going by that, I can almost damn near guarantee you she's going to be called to testify if this civil suit goes to court or whatever. If they do have where witnesses speak, she's going to be called to talk against this person. So you absolutely do. You absolutely do. Because you're mentioned on there as being under the umbrella of an At Night Media.
Payroll either.
No.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know if she's getting paid or not. I know that she's got more views because she is talking to them and texts them and puts it out here that she talks to them and texts them, and people go to her live stream to see what they say, because Tony gets up on her panel and Seth gets up on her panel, and Nick, I don't know if he's gotten up there or not because I don't watch her that much anymore, but you're absolutely making money off of it. Now, whether they specifically are paying her or not, I don't know, and it's not any of my business. It could be either one. She's not getting paid by them or she is getting paid by them. But at the end of the day, you're mentioned as being under the umbrella of At Night Media, and you absolutely will be called to the stand or be a witness in this civil suit. So you are involved.
If nothing at all, absolutely. Like, none of us there. Look, we're a group of creators who have supported Tony and Seth and what they're doing, what their goal is. And there's that, right? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, now, to just for the sake of transparency, I do want to share with y'all that I did, and this is also another one that they can take, and if whether they want to believe it or not, it doesn't matter. What matters to me is what you guys know and what the courts know and think. But I did not have any control over who and what Nick and his team decided to go against. Even if I wasn't a part of this at all, they were still going to file these I don't want to say charges. What would you call it? These complaints against Granny and Barbecue.
I don't know anything about Barbecue. I believe that 100% that at the end of the day, yeah, they were still going to file charges against Granny because of the things she said about Seth and the slander and the defamation, if you technically want to call it that. I agree with that statement. But why would you involve yourself in that is my question.
This injunction, a federal injunction. And this injunction it's a federal injunction, and you've got Lesniak on there. You have attorney Bruce Castor, who is the former I can't even think right now, Secretary of State of Pennsylvania. He was also a Trump I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now. He's an American lawyer and retired Republican politician from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. He was appointed as a Solicitor General in Pennsylvania in 2016. Also the first Deputy Attorney General in the following July. Castor became an acting Attorney General less than a month later. He led the defense of the second impeachment trial of Donald Trump, along with American lawyer David.
Okay, he goes over Lesniak's credentials and things like that. While those are important in referencing the legitimacy of him as a lawyer, okay, but what I'm specifically talking about is allegedly with Brittany J being in the lawsuit.
And I mean, these people, it's best to just, like, everybody needs to chill out. That's the thing.
Okay, Scott Bulldog Mama here. I'm going to back it up to see if she says something about this real quick, or if she's about to. But Scott Bulldog Mama right here is saying what I've been saying this whole time. And I said defendant, but I meant plaintiff. But, I mean, this is exactly it, 100%. You can't fight this. Scott Bulldog Mama said on her live stream, you had to be a part of something to be listed as a plaintiff in these court proceedings. Exactly, 100%, point blank, period, right on target, bam, thank you, ma'am, budding.
Of the second impeachment trial of Donald Trump, along with American lawyer David Strogan, I think that's how you pronounce it. I mean, they
Love
are
you, Missy.
taking this case, and I think that speaks a lot in itself.
So I'm going to see what she says
That speaks a
about
lot
this
in itself. I mean,
comment.
this is an attorney who led for Donald Trump, President Day of the United States. Okay, and I mean, I don't know how to make it any more clear. You know what I mean? And and I mean, these people, they, it's best to just like everybody needs to chill out. That's the thing. Just chill out. Everyone, put your egos aside and just chill out.
There I go again.
Okay, putting your egos aside and just chill out again would be not being on this lawsuit against somebody that you personally have had a vendetta with for some years now. When they came to you, if they came to me, I would say, okay, I understand why you are doing this, but I have got a personal vendetta against this person that goes back for some years. And that could be used against you in court, because people could say that I am biased because I've had a vendetta with this person since before Sebastian Rogers was ever mentioned at all whatsoever. How is me personally and my situation with this person going to help you in proving that she is slandering and defaming you and your child? Like, what exactly does that have to do with me? And how is me and my vendetta with this person being listed in this civil suit going to help you with what you have going on? Because it's not. And at the end of the day, it could be used against them and actually hurt their case, in my opinion. Oh, let me get my banner up.
I wanted, okay, Scott Bulldog Mama
Okay,
said,
spring clip.
yeah, says you had to be a part of something to be listed as a plaintiff in these court proceedings. What do you mean? Like, are you saying that I had to be like a partner or something to be a part of this? No. So
the hell.
Let me say this.
I don't think you need to say anything that like.
No, but I'm absolutely not a part of anything other than one of the people that they were filing the injunction against just so happened to be a person that I have had a ton of issues with. And I was asked if I would want to be a part of this, because I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what
I was asked if I would want to be a part of this.
What all's going on. It's been awful. It has been awful. I mean, for the last, and these are reasons, I'm going to list reasons why I decided to do this. And I said, let me think about it. I don't know if that's something I want to do. Now I have thought and tried to look into ways to handle this on my own, even prior to all of this. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to defend yourself. You don't need to defend yourself. I'm just going to say.
No, and I'm not going to, because it's like I told you today, Justin, if any of the people, I don't care if it's people that dislike me or people that support me, if anyone has endured the things that I have on this platform, especially when it comes to your children and your family, they would have done things a long time ago to try to make it stop.
I am sorry for anything that you or anybody else might endure on this platform having to do with children, family, personal looks, or anything like that. But at the end of the day, sweetheart, y'all do it to each other. Okay? You have talked about how Granny's watching bought, what is it, like vapes or something like that about her child as well. You go in the comment sections of other live streams and you talk about her as well, just like she does. She goes in live streams and talks about you and all of the things. Like, y'all are tit for tat with each other. Y'all do it to each other. Now, the whole thing with her basically talking crap about Brittany, saying that she could possibly be on drugs, that was not cool. That's not acceptable at any time whatsoever. If you see a live streamer on here and think they are on drugs, please try to contact them privately and get them help. Please do not make a live stream about it. But there was a lawyer that got on here and was on drugs, and like everybody made live streams about him and like called him, picked on him and all kinds of shit. And so I'm thinking that maybe she saw that and knew that happened and thought that it would be okay. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you have a vendetta with somebody or not. If you think they're on drugs, don't make a live stream about it. Please try to get them help instead. But I mean, regardless, y'all do it to each other. It's not just you being bullied and you being picked on. No, ma'am. You go out here and stir the pot too. in my opinion.
Years this has been going on. And so I was asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said, let me think about it. Let me figure it out. I need to pray on it and just try to, really. And Justin can tell you, I didn't just jump at this. I thought things
You
through.
really did.
And then let me tell you what happened. What ultimately made me decide to go along and do this was my property. Okay, that was my last straw. It's one thing to argue and fight with somebody online. Fine, people can talk. Trash talk is just that, right? And as a creator, I very well know that that's something that we have to be willing to expect and accept, right?
To an extent, yes.
Yes. But it's a whole nother story when trash talk progresses from that to duck calls, whether it's dog whistles for CPS, which has happened multiple times. I have just from.
Okay. Now, about the doxing, I don't think she put your personal address out there. I think it's going to be said that she pulled it up on Google Maps, and wow, that's fucked up. Y'all have both been doxed before. Your information has been out here before. Okay. I know for a fact because I have been in a comments box where you stated that she said she lives in not New York, but New Jersey. And we all knew for a fact that she didn't live in New Jersey. She lived in Pennsylvania. Now, is that an actual address? No. But it's the same line. And I know that it happened for 100% fact because I was there. I was there when that happened. And CPS has been called on you. They've been called on her. They've been called on Makeup Mobster. They've been called on that Laura. I don't know her name. They've been called, I don't know if they've been called on nonsense, but they've been called on a lot of people. What is it? Dietz or somebody said that CPS has been called on her and she don't even have children in the house. So again, while it sucks, it's not involving your personal vendetta against her, in my opinion.
From this person, and I have proof. I want to be clear about this. There is proof for every single thing that I state and every single thing that is stated in this filing. There is physical proof from her words. Okay, we have it all. I have been called an animal abuser. I have been accused of streaming while I was streaming. She said that I was, quote, so wrapped up or so obsessed with YouTube that I stepped on one of my cats and killed them. Well, there went my monetization. I meant to say unalived them. And continued to stream, even though my animal was unalived. She has used a video of me shooing a cat with my foot, never making impact with it, and accused me of kicking my animal. I have been called homophobic, transphobic, racist. She has spread that rumor to quite a few.
Okay, the whole situation about the cats, well, it's messed up, and I'm not sure what you have said against Granny's watching. I'm sure there's some things out there like that, possibly, but I don't know for a fact. The whole cat thing and the shooing the cat and kicking them, I've seen the video. And no, Brittany J did not kick the cat. She shoot it with her foot. But at the end of the day, that shit happened before Sebastian Rogers. The racism thing happened during the Sebastian Rogers case, but that was Regina and Sarah's suspicions that were being racist. You just laughed and allowed it on your panel. That's what that's about. The transphobic thing has more to do with nonsense than her, in my opinion.
A few people that I'm racist. I have been accused of not feeding my children, locking my autistic son in a room, or I don't know if she was saying in a room or out of a room. Either way it goes, locking my child away so that I can stream.
Again, that happened before the Sebastian Rogers case, so why is it being brought in a lawsuit that has to do with Seth and At Night Media, and specifically involving the Sebastian Rogers case and what she's done pertaining to that? This is all telling me about your personal vendettas with each other. While all these things are wrong, I don't know what's been said by her about Granny's watching, so I can't really comment on that. I know what Granny's watching has said about Brittany, and while that's wrong and we should not say those things, you two have been going tit for tat at each other for years now.
And then all of that's bad, right? But even with that, I tried to rise above. And I'm going to be honest with you, my turning point when I said things have got to stop and I have got to do something about this was the day that she went live and she showed my property on her live stream. Okay. Not only did she show my property, but she showed the street name on the Google. She used Google Earth to show my property. And then she shared a obituary of a young man who passed away on my property, which anybody who would want to find my house at that point, she basically laid it out for you. And that was my.
So you go and jump on this civil suit that lists your name and your address. Like, I didn't have that information beforehand. I have it now because of the lawsuit, and I would never put that information out. I don't think it's not cool. I'm not going to share those files or anything like that. I'm not that type of person. But you made that public even more so than it was before, because now everybody's got that information and everybody knows where to go to get it.
I said, you know what? This is only going to get worse.
And what I thought was interesting is, you say it's that, but then, you're working your butt off the last couple of weeks, and then you're tired, right? You're tired. And then all of that happened. And it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
And then you get blamed for something, what, falling asleep or something like that, saying you were on something. But
yeah. Well, for anybody that's telling me not to speak, I've already gotten permission to say all of this, you guys. I wouldn't just come talk about all this if I didn't have.
But I would, I would still,
Yeah. And I mean, there's not.
I'm aware that Brittany asked her multiple times to take it down. Again, though, they've been at odds with each other since way before this. And this is more of a personal reason than the Sebastian Rogers case reason. And that's my point in all of this. This is more of a personal vendetta than it is having anything to do with Seth Rogers and the things she said about him and Sebastian Rogers.
Not really even a whole lot to say about it other than, what I'm saying now. I just want to tell you guys, hey, these are, and there's way more than this. This is just the basic, this is just a little bit that I can share with you guys. There's more. There's things that I completely forgot. And so my whole point is, I asked her to take it down, and she didn't. She refused. And then, like Justin just said, the very real allegations that I am on some type of substance, which this right here, me doing this filing and stuff is going to prove that was defamation as well. And it's not fair to put that on my head. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. And like I said, I stand on it. There's nothing in me. I'm not doing this from a catalyst point. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not over here celebrating. It is not within me to want to bring pain or heartache to another person. I don't want to do that. I don't want any money. I don't want anything. I simply just want to be free to stream on my channel and not have to worry about, what's
okay. But you got yourself involved in this case, and it has more to do with your personal vendetta than it does trying to help Seth with his. Seth had enough information and validity to his case. Seth had enough proof without you even being in this mentioned at all whatsoever. And you can stream on your channel just like I can stream on my channel, and she can stream on hers. People are going to talk shit. I put out actual videos that are evidence with no commentary, no nothing, when I can get the files, and people still talk shit. I get haters in my comment section all the time. Does that mean I'm about to go file a lawsuit? No, it doesn't. Nobody's stopping you from streaming on your channel. Haters are going to be haters. You're going to have haters regardless. It happens. Move on. Ignore it. I don't know. But like filing a lawsuit, that's a bit drastic in my opinion.
What someone's going to do tomorrow. That's all. I don't think that's a lot to ask.
I don't think it's a lot to ask for just people to like.
Yes, Cassie.
There's so many stories out there that need to be told. I don't understand why everyone kind of gets obsessed with you or Betty or whoever and just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Let me just not.
Rita says, I apologize, and I trust you know what to say. I'm only going to pray. No, you guys are good. But I did before I even scheduled this live stream, I reached out and I asked, what I'm allowed to talk about and what I'm not. So I would still rather find out through the court proceedings. It's best to let them sweat out rather than giving them all the. Oh, I didn't. Everything I just named is in the filing, you guys. They have that. I didn't just share anything that's not public.
Isn't there when it's all said and done 700 pages or something?
Oh God, it's a lot. I don't like. I would imagine it would take you to a couple of days to read it all.
It's 700 pages and something else is 1,000 pages, and then there's I think 3 drives, hard drive,
oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. When I tell you entire channels worth of stuff. And I do need to give a shout out to my moderators and to everybody else who have, because if it would have we can't do this alone. There were a lot of people that have helped try to help as much as we could. But I do want to talk about real quick, kind of off of me for a minute. Did you listen?
Okay, you got your personal moderators from your personal channel going around and gathering information for this, and you expect me to believe that you have no personal dealings or you're not have any contracts or anything like that with these people. That, again, you just made it real hard to believe that.
Listen to that, to Seth's part. That broke my heart. Oh, I cried. That made me cry.
What?
When the part of Seth's part of the filing where he's, his complaints about documentation being stolen out of his phone when he's asleep, and how God.
And just
okay, that has more to do with T-Rev and Michaela. Well, it was done by Michaela, and now T-Rev has information that he should not because of what Michaela did. That's a horrible thing. Nobody should be put through that, and the fact that Michaela stuck herself right in the middle of that situation. She laid down in bed with that man just to get information about this case is disgusting in every aspect of the word. That is a horrendous, hideous, one of the most ugliest things I've ever heard of being done. But again, that's more along the lines of Seth suing and not anything to do with you and your personal vendetta against Granny's Watching, which you brought into this lawsuit by being in it.
Just to clarify this, Brittany, Seth, this is filed under the penalty of perjury.
Yes.
As well. So let me tell you something. Trust me, they better have proof of everything that is in there because it's filed under the penalty of perjury. You're not going to put something in there that's not true.
Yep. In due diligence, let me tell you, just from my part, I can tell you, they did their due diligence, and we all did. For every single accusation that is made, there is physical, like I said, there's physical proof of the person saying it for the most part. There may be some in there that I don't know, because like I said, we didn't take part in everything. But hey, Tony, good to see you.
Hey, Tony.
You and your moderators went around and collected everything going back before the Sebastian Rogers case that Granny's Watching has ever said against you. And that's the problem. That's my problem. It's more personal than it is to do with Seth and Sebastian.
Tony. But yeah, when I heard Seth's, like, there was some stuff in there that I didn't, I'm trying to be more personable with y'all by turning my camera on, but my son's making me nervous, y'all.
Sorry. Turn it off tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn my I have a double desk though.
Oh,
So
why don't you put the blur thing on the back?
It is, but he's still, like, you can still, it's not enough.
You don't put the blur background on?
Yeah, it's blurry. That's what it is. But you can still see him. Like, you can still see
really?
him. Yeah, his clothes and stuff. Yeah, somebody gave me an idea. I'm gonna turn my desk around to where my wall is behind me. I'm trying to remember because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. I was shocked by it. Oh, that I told you this on the phone. See, in Seth's filing, it said that CP told him that they needed to get their story straight. I was shocked by that.
You was telling me about that. I was like, what? That's filed again under the penalty of perjury. So I assure you that.
Again, I'm talking.
You just look at everything that
I mean, people, like comes to Tony, even like when I was.
I'm talking specifically about Brittany and her allegedly with Brittany J's filings against Granny's Watching. So I'm skipping through.
I do want to say you guys are amazing. Y'all always, you never let me down. I'll tell you that. I'm so incredibly grateful to be surrounded by such a loving and 750 plus pages of receipts in total, you guys.
Yeah.
750. Now I'm going to tell you too, like, something very interesting to me is, never mind. This is going to be I've said it from the beginning. Sebastian's case is a case of revelations. Like, a lot of things that we didn't know, people's true intentions have been shown. Hello, Mr. Seth. Hello, how are you? Good to see you.
How are you, buddy?
Okay.
But again, it bothers me because your intentions and vendettas against Granny's Watching are being brought into this lawsuit.
Okay, I want to tell you that you're
John Q just told me to tell you. Can you tell Miss Brittany I said hello and for her to stay strong? Thanks, bro.
Oh, thank you, John. If you're listening to this, Justin feels the same way, and many other creators that have went through this. We've stood by Seth because we know that he is a father who is hurting and who is in pain and who desperately wants to know what happened to his 15-year-old son. I haven't. And
I know the man's innocent. I know the man.
How do
is innocent. He has done everything he can humanly possible do to search for his son, to speak out for his son, to continually, non-stop, right? And, take.
Oh, thank you, Trixie. Yeah, I'm about to end it because I don't think there's anything else pertinent in here. But how do we know that Chris and Katie aren't doing anything and aren't searching? And I mean, you know, both sides talk crap about the other. The Chris and Katie supporters talk crap about Seth, and Seth supporters talk crap about Chris and Katie. I stopped covering this case because it's just too much drama and too much in it already. How do you know what Chris and Katie are and are not doing? Like, everybody's talking crap about both sides. It's not just one.
Big lie detector test to
Yes.
Show the public, show the people. Well, right, just show it, and that, just like Seth did, because once you have that out there, nobody can argue with that.
Exactly.
Nobody's required to. You don't owe anybody anything. But I think it stops a lot because you can't argue with a time slip. You just can't do it.
Exactly. Even though they still try to say that that's not legit somehow.
Well, all you gotta do is,
the drama has gotten so toxic, like it's so heavy and widespread.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit so we can talk about this part.
It's just, I'm going to talk about, real quick, Country Guy, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the green team. I have to figure out that my daughter's driving me nuts about her Halloween costume. Thank you so much for becoming a member, my love. Welcome to the green team. I want to talk about how YouTube, I don't even want to say this community, I'm just going to say like people on YouTube, kind of goes with my title. I made my title tonight, Dehumanized and Desensitized, because I feel like the drama has gotten so toxic, like it's so heavy and widespread. Even in true crime now, it's pretty much taken over. And the bar is raised up each time, when a fight escalates, that I think that a lot of people on this platform has been desensitized to what's right and what's wrong anymore. And it's like, after you go after, let's talk about Seth, for example. You go after somebody so much that eventually there's just no, it's like where most people are like, wait a minute, that's not right.
But you have a whole entire channel committed to talking about drama.
You shouldn't do that. It's like that's non-existent. They dehumanize Seth so much that anything goes. You know what I mean? Anybody can do anything, and that's okay. There's and it's like I feel like we've reached that point in this community where
it's on both sides.
You can just, you can show my house on a panel, on a channel, on a live stream. You can show my property, and nobody says anything. Nobody just stops and thinks for a minute. Well, how is that going? She has little kids. What if some weirdo's watching this video and they decide to go to her house? Then what?
Because nobody saw your house, in my opinion. I didn't see it from the Google Earth map, but I didn't see your house. I didn't get your address until actually you filed the lawsuit, to be quite frankly honest.
It's like nobody even thinks about that. Or, calling him a predator and saying he did these horrible things. Well, he works at a jail. What do they do to people that do things like that?
I'm reading this right now, and I'm reading the thing in Seth, and it says, defendant dismisses Rogers' claims of trauma, sarcastically suggesting, quote, get a therapist because it is years later, sir. You're still not healed, end quote. Talking, and this is, people make it to where it's like, they make it sound like Seth isn't over a relationship.
Yep.
He just wants to speak to the mother of his missing child. Is that too much to ask?
It depends on him as a person, and if he's toxic, and if she doesn't want to talk to him. That's their relationship that we have no business being a part of, regardless of whether it's out here or not. And people ask questions because, like I was playing earlier, when he had the news media's attention, he took the moment to talk about Katie instead of Sebastian.
Yeah, but they got to turn that into
and to talk about nothing more than their missing child.
Yep,
nothing more.
That's it.
Again,
make it make
that's
sense.
That's her decision.
Make it make sense.
That's her decision. Us on YouTube have not a damn thing to do with it.
Make it make sense why it has to be something like that. Stephanie, thank you so much for becoming a member, sweetheart. Welcome to the green team. Turtle Talk, thank you, my love, for joining the green team. Welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to pull that up because there's another thing in there I want to read on Steph's part. Because, that, if there's anything to show proof of what I was just talking about in regards to being dehumanized and desensitized, it's Steph's, his entire part of the filing today.
Well, I feel like they attack Seth because there is nothing to speak about him on the night Sebastian went missing. You know what I mean? There's nothing. Like if you there's nothing. He was at work. And
yep.
Both Chris and Seth have put out information that could be used against them by YouTube creators and haters. They're not talking about Seth because they can't place him anywhere. Most people don't think that any of the parents had anything to do with this. They talk about Seth because of what he has said. And they talk about Chris because of what he has said. It's not to do with their locations when Sebastian went missing.
Because, you know, you may not like someone. It's like they've got, for, I mean, I don't understand it, but, you know, it's just, and that's why I say it's no longer even about Sebastian. It's about, you know, just hate.
Yep.
And whenever you, I don't know. I need to turn my charger.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna pull the filing up real quick. And let me read this. Let's see. A news conference will take place on Tuesday, October the 22nd, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. on the steps of the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas, located at 201 West Front Street, Media, Pennsylvania. Attorney Joseph Lesniak, Esquire, will discuss the latest legal actions concerning the ongoing search for Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old boy who went missing on February the 25th, 2024, and was reported missing the following day. So they are going to be doing a presser on the steps of the Delaware County Courthouse. This is huge, y'all.
That's big. If they don't a presser on it, I'm just saying that's pretty big.
It's freaking what I didn't even realize how big this was, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, it didn't even dawn on me that one of the attorneys that joined the team is actually, what was he, the former attorney general?
The former attorney general. He was lead in.
Okay. But again, I mean, if the case is so big, why do you and your personal vendetta with Granny's watching have to be in it? I mean,
Victims of crime, the rare criminal case, grand jury.
There was enough information and enough evidence without you putting yourself in it. It's got to be because of your personal feelings towards her. And that's a problem when you're bringing a civil suit due to personal feelings.
Trial strategy, tactics, and conducting discrete internal investigation for corporate clients, General Cast. 2018, numerous legal groups, publications frequently. Lawyers, Mr. Castor is a Pennsylvania super lawyer each year from 2005 to
He's just talking about the
confidential
lawyer.
files related to Sebastian Rogers. A true and correct copy of the sworn declaration of Seth Rogers, father of Sebastian Wayne Jake Rogers, is attached here to Exhibit 10. And so just think about that for a minute. Think about that. How contrived and manipulative does one have to be to do something like that, y'all? Seriously. I mean, what for? Like, honestly, to what? Get more information on a case that, I don't know. It talks about these enterprises. And this part's got me interested too, Justin.
She's talking about Michaela sleeping with Seth to get information out of his phone. That is sick. That is disgusting. And the fact that T-Rev went down there and basically stole... let me be nice. T-Rev went down there and started dating Michaela after Seth was dating Michaela. And Michaela said she was never dating Seth. That's wrong. Regardless, if that man thought he was dating that woman, you should have been the bigger man, T-Rev, to walk away and say, look, there's some kind of personal feelings going on here. Let me step back from this situation, at least for a couple of months, and see how it plays out before I jump 10 toes in, like you standing on business and knowing damn well you ain't, in my opinion.
Like hearing that there's this weird underground behind the scenes thing going on.
I mean, you know, this attorney does, I mean, I just read it. What did it say? Conducting discrete internal investigations for corporate clients as well.
Yep.
In rare cases, I mean, she knows how to get the information.
Things going on behind the scenes. It really makes me wonder. I'm like, damn, because I'm just an average person that's got a channel that comes on here to hang with y'all at night, talk about true crime. But it really looks like some of this stuff is going to open the doors to a lot of things that none of us knew were going on.
Read Tony's.
Let me see. Where are you at, Mr. Mathis?
Well, and, you know, not to mention, this is the second. Is it the second cease and desist that Seth has put out before?
Yes.
And, and this is what happens after a cease and desist, right? The cease and desist is saying, okay, tone it down or knock it off, right? And well, here we are.
Yep.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's so funny, but it's so true though. So yes, Tony, 100%. So you crawl into a grieving father's bed. You wait until he goes to sleep, and then you get into his phone and send yourself confidential documents regarding his missing son. Okay, got it. You're right.
Trump abortion bans. Pregnant women suffering.
I don't know why it's playing political ads. I don't like political ads. I apologize for that. we got to skip through this. I mean, I just again want to reiterate my issue is her personal vendetta with Granny's watching and how it's being brought into this lawsuit when it absolutely was not necessary.
Where we have a girl that's like beyond obsessed with true crime enough to where she's willing to go through great lengths to get inside information that probably would come out anyway eventually. You know what I mean? Good God, girl.
I don't think she was obsessed with true crime. I think she was.
Or it's the latter, yeah.
She was obsessed maybe with something else, someone else.
Yeah. There's so much that is just beyond me. Let me see. And here's another thing I think is really sad in that complaint too. Nick's parole officer. Everybody called his parole officer. Everybody. What is wrong with people? You wanted this guy in jail because what, he was saying some things that you didn't like? Literally, what did Nick do? Honestly, what can you say that he did really?
If that happened, that's messed up. You shouldn't call somebody's parole officer just because they're wanting to look into a case. If that's how it happened and what went on, that's horrible.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, he even went to the feet, and tried to impeachment trial with the attorney. So like, come on.
Right, you're true. You're right. I shouldn't even let myself go there. Absolutely. But I do want to. I'm just going to read a little bit of what was done to Seth. Like without me, let's just talk about what this person's done to Seth. Defendant GW. I'm gonna call her GW. Okay, I'm not going to say her name. Repeatedly twists Mr. Rogers' words, portraying him as an insincere, manipulative, and unfit as a parent. This is not just a personal vendetta, but part of a larger coordinated attempt by the enterprise to discredit Mr. Rogers in the eyes of the public. The mocking and distorting of his words serve the dual purpose of undermining his credibility and inciting further harassment from defendant GW's audience.
But y'all do the same thing to Chris and Katie, just being fair. And your audience talks shit to her too. Your audience goes over there and defends you when she talks shit about you, just like they defend her when you talk shit about her. Y'all are tit for tat.
You mocks, well, Mr. Rogers, and
he had enough without you getting involved. You should have set your ass down, in my opinion.
stating, I want a divorce so I can start again, turning this into the opportunity to paint him as someone dismissive of his responsibilities. She sarcastically thanks him for being so nice during the divorce, encouraging his audience to view him as deceitful. A true and correct copy of that. Okay, and then they put the exhibit. The distortion of Mr. Rogers' statements reflect the broader strategy of the enterprise, with defendants GW and the other barbecue coordinating efforts to undermine victims' credibilities through mockery, manipulation, and defamation as tools of harassment. There's weight. I mean, it goes. I ain't gonna keep on doing this, but I just want to say, like, I want to just give a shout out to Seth and say, I only wish that I could be as strong as this guy is to be going through all of this, and it's mainly his child's missing. It's shameful.
And when you're doing everything you can,
yeah,
you know what I mean, everything you can to.
Can you talk tomorrow, please?
Yes.
You'll make them tomorrow. I promise. I'll make sure.
Sorry,
you have to talk your heart.
He's laying on the couch asking for tacos tomorrow. I will make tacos. I mean, we know it's other people, but I don't know, guys. We just have to wait and see how it plays out.
Well, I mean, I would think, you would probably know who you are if.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you've been a part of, the.
Right. Other active participants probably makes sense to me. And I mean, it's a widespread problem. And I do want to say this too. Never once, not even now, not when Seth handed out the first line of cease and desist. None of this is saying don't talk about Sebastian, because that's another thing I'm so tired of hearing. You're going to make it where Sebastian's not talked about. None of this has anything to do with speaking about Sebastian. It's not trying to shut people.
I don't think it has anything to do with making people try to stop talking about Sebastian, because that wasn't mentioned specifically. Everybody from every facet of YouTube that's talking about this case needs to stop attacking parents, in my opinion.
Why is Seth trying to shut people down for speaking about Sebastian? No. Seth is trying to make people stop.
That's the thing, is about getting it back on Sebastian. Getting it back on the case. That's what it's about, is getting it back on.
Yeah, I heard somebody today. Y'all, these people are so ingrained in their hatred that they don't even realize what they're saying. But there was somebody today that actively admitted, without even realizing what they were saying, well, we don't even hardly talk about Sebastian. So why is this happening? That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They have this thing, right, where they go through the live stream and it detects the keywords, right? And you're talking about Sebastian's name in an entire live stream, okay, that's supposed to be about his case. Sebastian's name was mentioned 5 times.
Wow.
You want to know how many times Seth's name was mentioned?
How many?
Like 300.
Holy moly. There you go.
Oh my God, come on. That's one live stream.
I mean, like,
if we went over the live stream that I did, that I showed y'all, my live stream that I showed y'all, where I talk about her talking about Chris and Katie in the courtroom that day against Bullhorn Betty, I wonder how many times we would hear her say Sebastian and how many times we would hear her say Chris and Katie. Again, just proven it's on both sides.
If I ever have to spend my...
She's not as bad as some talking about Chris. I 100%. She's not even the worst one on panel right now when it comes to talking about Chris. My point is just that it happens on both sides. And it was not necessary to bring you and all your personal fifis and all the, not necessarily your personal fifis, but all of the hostilities that you have towards Granny's watching into this lawsuit. There was enough without you, and it wouldn't make everybody be wanting to come after you right now like they are, because it's very obvious that your feelings towards her played a part in this, and that's not fair.
In my time playing someone else's live about what they said about a case or whatever. Oh God, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine living a life like that. Like, speak about the case.
Yep.
Talk about timelines. Talk about, so it's.
Well, Seth, that's the beautiful thing about documentation, because I don't even know how many times we have that, where that's exactly what you have stated over and over and over verbatim. The live will be about anything, and you're like, I don't care. I just want Sebastian to be found and brought home. What, in any interview that you watch, Mr. Rogers, what can we do for you? Just help me find my boy. That's what he says. Help me bring my son home.
Except for the one.
All right, it says Justin off top.
I mean, just, let's just talk about the one that I just played when I was talking about Granny's watching, where he states that Katie's not looking for Sebastian and she needs to be, right? Like, there's interviews out there where he could have mentioned Sebastian and it's not. Do I believe he wants his son home? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've stated before that I believe that Sebastian is Seth's whole entire world, his reason for breathing, his reason for getting up and going to work and trying to be a better person every day. Absolutely, I believe that with every fiber of my being. But there's times he could have mentioned them that he didn't. I have no problem. I mean, I understand why Seth is filing this lawsuit. I understand his reasonings against Michaela and Granny's watching. And, if he's got enough evidence there, which it's very possible that he does, then, do your thing. But when you as a YouTube creator get involved and take your personal vendettas against other YouTube creators and throw them in there with that, it's a problem for me.
Topic, just see you and your monkey wearing matching sweaters. What?
Damn straight.
What? You and your monkey wearing matching sweaters?
Okay.
Zoots and Boots says, tell their story, share opinions, but when it becomes beyond, they exploit victims as vehicle for viciousness. Not serves, just trying to deliberately hurt others. It's a crime online, yes. And that's what I'm saying, Zoot. I think that what would be appalling to the average person that's not engulfed in this community, well, I don't say this community because it feels like we're talking about us, but on this platform, to so many on this platform, it's just normalcy. Oh, it's just another day. You showed her whole house, just another day. You called him a pedophile, just another day. Nobody even gives it thought of the consequences that these things can cause. Not just for me, anybody. It's disgusting.
Why does everyone care about?
Right.
It's not a case. Why does it matter?
Right.
Okay, and it's going to commercial, and I think that's, we've got the point. I've said what I needed to say. So I appreciate all of you that are here. I appreciate those for watching. If you're watching this on a replay, I appreciate you watching it and hearing my thoughts and opinions on that. I'm sorry this is a drama live stream. I will recreate the thumbnail to let you know that that's what this is. I just wanted to put my thoughts and opinions out here because it's concerning to me when you use your personal feelings to get involved in a lawsuit against somebody that you have been going at war with for at least a year now. That's a problem. That's not a good look, in my opinion. And that's just what I think about that. I hope you all had the best day you've ever had in your whole entire life. If you're watching this on replay, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to join the speculating family. I will see you all tomorrow as we talk about what happened Friday in the Leilani Simon case. Have a good day. Bye.